Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. And it's still the 14th of March, it's still my birthday. Manchester United still lost, and I still had a cracking shave today using Proraso Green. I'm going to move on to a head shave now. I've just watched in between this one. I was going to go and have a coffee, but I've had two this morning, and I'm not going to have another one. And I don't sleep well as it is, so too many coffees might sound like sacrilege to some people that I'm not having another one, but I've decided against it. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a head shave now. And I'm going to use, it's a horrible, cold, dreary, windy, rainy day here. So I'm going to use OSP, the Obsessive Soap Perfectionist Spice Road. And this one here, it's just a really sort of clovey, cinnamony, spicy, warm scent. And yeah, it's really, really nice. And OSP lather up lovely. So I'm going to give this a go for the head shave. So the brush I'm using, which has been soaking now for a bit, I'm just going to fill the bowl up while I'm talking. Squeeze the water out. It's the Smog Owners Club Blonde Boar, and this thing is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I've probably got enough water in there now. Straight onto the dry pup with the damp brush. Load the brush up, and then I'm going to bowl lather as I normally do for my head shave, because I use a lot more lather on my head shave than I do with a face shave. Lots of proto lather already, which is good. Now this brush, the Smog Owners Club Boar brush, is one of the nicest brushes I've got really. If I'm brutally honest, I don't like it as much as my synthetics, but I would say it's actually nicer than the two Band Badger Wolf Whiskers that I've got. Right, so I don't know how long that load was, but as you can see I've pretty much got a gorgeous lather already, and that's just from the load. It's upon a Futur Varicino shaving grail bowl, the holy grail of shaving bowls in my opinion, as I always say. Tiny little bit of water. I've got a very well loaded brush today, so I know what's going to deal with it. And the scent's just gorgeous. Scent strength out the tub with this stuff is probably a 6. I reckon when it's lathered it goes up to around about 7. And it makes an excellent bowl lather, this brush as well. I was actually going to have this knot re-knotted into a custom handle. I've sort of decided against it. I think the Smog Owners Club brush as it is, it's actually a very nice brush. It's a nice weight, it's not too heavy, it's not too light. Keep doing that at the moment. I keep adding far too much water when I'm dipping, just to add a bit more moisture, and I keep adding far too much. Luckily enough, all these soaps and creams that I have in my den now take an absolute travesty, an incredible amount of water to ruin them. They really deal with water very, very well, and as you can see, look at that. You just cannot argue with a lather like that. I'm just going to dip the tips again, last time. We'll give it a good whip up, and then we'll be ready to go. Now I've just been watching Brown Man Shaves there, in between this my face shave and this shave. And he's just done the Merca Futur on setting 3, and said it's the worst head shave he's ever had. So I think that's a hell of a statement, and I did knock my Futur onto the substitutes bench last week when it took a chunk out of my head. Right, so I'm pretty much happy with that. It's a little bit airier than I wanted it to be because I added far too much water with that dip. So I can see a little bit more air in it than I would normally have, but that's still a beautiful lather. Right. Set the bowl to the side. Now the blade I'm using is an Asco Red. From what I'm led to believe, this is the exact same. Now I'm going to show you something here. This is a single wrapped blade, okay? Similar to feather. Don't know why I said okay, that drives me nuts saying that. Exact same as the feather. So The difference being is this is actually held, the paper itself is waxed. So watch this, when I open this up here on this little flap, so there's it, pop that flap up, that's now opened the seal. And I don't know if you can see that tiny little bit of white there. That was the wax holding the paper shut. So now I can flip this other one up. Now watch this compared to feather. You ready? Just grab it, I'm holding onto the blade now. It just comes straight out because there's no wax on the blade. Absolutely none. That to me is much better than the way feather wraps the blades covered in wax. If you're not going to double wrap it, that is the way forward. Right, so the razor of choice for today is the Futur. So if you guys haven't seen it before, it's a 2-piece razor, adjustable. Just pop the cap off the top, like so. And then what I do is I pop my blade onto there, like that. And very similar to the R41, I never get any issues with alignment on this, it just aligns beautifully. You get your cap, pop it down, it clips on, and then you've got your blades in there, and that's perfectly level. There's no alignment issues with it actually running at an angle, or the actual blade itself, when you look down on it, looks pretty perfect. Now, it's on setting 1 right now, but I won't be shaving on setting 1. I'll be shaving on setting 6. It's actually 6 and a couple of millimeters, but setting 6 it's on. So I don't know whether you guys can actually see the difference. That you can actually see there. Watch the difference in the blade gap as I'm opening it. You see it opening really wide there. So setting 6. Setting 6 the last time took a chunk out of my head, and I've still got a tiny little bump where it took that chunk. So I am sort of playing with the devil here. Right. So it's the head wetted brush loaded. As you can see, it is just a little bit airy, so I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I might have to just go back to the pot to take a little bit more lather from, but we'll see how it goes. Let's give it a go first. The thing I love about these sort of stronger scented soaps when you're doing your head is you can still smell them, even though it's on your head. Yeah, I think this lather's going to be fine. For some reason or another, I don't know what it is, I just cannot get as thick a lather on my head as I can on my face. Don't ask me why, because I can't give you an answer. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So I'm really doing this video, I don't really want to use the Futur today. I just want to use it just for a bit of support for Kyle over at Brown Man Shaves, because there's not a lot of guys on YouTube that I find that actually shave the head on YouTube. It's mainly face shavers, so there's not a lot of information out there for people. There's obviously the Clean Shaver, who does excellent videos. Ruds does good videos as well, and Bald and Beardist, fucking hell, Bald and Bearded. If you haven't watched him yet, he's real good. He is a good laugh. But some of his videos I can't watch because of copyright. Won't let me do it because I'm an Australian. Whatever he puts on there, sometimes they copyright it, so you can only watch it in America. So that's a bit annoying. I do miss a lot of his videos. But other than that, his videos are really fun to watch. And I'm trying to be a bit more like that, just be myself on the camera. And he's the sort of bloke you'd love to have as a mate, especially in a time of need, because he's just the sort of guy, I think he would just help you out and do anything and really bring a smile back to you, you know. Right, Futur, setting 6, brand spanking new Asco blade. I'm not looking forward to this now, not after watching Brown Man Shaves and obviously the issues I had last time, so let's see how we go. It's got a much different angle this compared to the R41. I'm almost holding the razor vertical. There we go, first pass down. So as I was saying, Kyle, I sent you a message, mate. What I do now is I lather my whole head, start at the front, and take that line all the way back. Now, if you can see in the video over there, there. There's a mirror over there, so you can actually see what I'm doing a little bit. I know it's small, but if you put it on a bigger screen on your computer or something, you'll actually see what I'm doing. And it just starts at the front. And like yourself, there's no pressure. You've got to really lift this razor up, unfortunately. It's not like the R41 where I don't have to lift it. The R41 you just put the pressure on because it's a very light razor. So that part of my head there that I just went on the crown is where I took the chunk out last time. So, touch wood, I've got over that bit. Hopefully we can get the rest in there. If I'm brutally honest, this blade doesn't feel very nice in this razor. It's not as smooth as the feather. And I could have sworn I just nicked myself there again. Another thing about this is it holds water. You sort of shake it out as you're going. Yeah, I've got one right there already. I mean, is the R41 a better razor? In my opinion, yes, it is a better razor. I love the style of this, I love how it works, I love how it looks. For a head shave, I just don't think it's quite good enough. I think there's too much blade flex in it personally. I did do a review on it with the R41 and I found this better with the grain, much better with the grain, but as soon as I went against the grain, the R41 won hands down. So this is why I think I'm chewing my head up a little bit, because it just doesn't seem to... It does not coat well with against the grain. I've definitely got a cut over here, I'm sure I have. I'm not getting any blood at this stage anyway. I was going to stop there because I have nicked myself on you. I was actually going to stop and just get the R41 out. But mate, I'm going to finish the shave for you, just so you're not the only person out there that's sort of struggling with it. It is not as good as the R41 for a head shaver, but it definitely is not. I find that motion straight over like that, and you'll probably see, if you can see in that mirror over there, you'll see that I just start here and come right around, and it's quite a smooth motion. It's not, you can do it in sort of almost practically in one movement, and it just takes it all off in one hit. You're not sort of struggling with your lather drying up. Hey, I've definitely got a cut over here somewhere. Where's the blood? I can't find any blood. It's definitely not as nice to use. It just is not. That's but I've got one tiny little sort of, I don't know if that was an actual cut. I just nipped the top off something. I think I've actually sliced my skin a little bit, but it's stopped bleeding now. Right, back to the bolt. And I can't blame the lather, because the lather is very slick, as all OSP soaps are, very slick soaps. And there's quite a bit of cushioning and protection with it. And I watched your video there, mate, but I didn't, I can't remember whether you bowl lather or not. Personally, if I'm going to do a head shave, bowl lather every time, because you need a lot more lather. and as far as I'm concerned, you can't fit enough in your brush. Doesn't matter what brush you use. It's not like a face lather where you've got sort of 3-4 passes in your brush. One pass on your head with a lather, you've sort of 2 passes on your face, if you think of it like that. It takes longer to do as well, so the lather that's in the brush starts drying up, so at least if you've got it in a bowl like that, you've always got loads of lather to pull back out again if you need some more. Right, so let's go against the grain now. See, that to me is a lot of blade shatter there, a lot. I'm not particularly confident using this razor at the moment. It has, I must say, it has knocked my confidence a little bit with it. So that's me, I'm totally BBS there on this section of my head pretty much. Got a little bit just there, let's see if I can just get that with the slickness of the soap. Let's see, with shitty soaps, you ain't doing that, no way. Not with this razor anyway. And I haven't really noticed how you do the back of your head. I should really look a bit closer. Whenever I'm doing the back of my head, I try and pull my neck, my chin right onto my chest to try and stretch the back of my neck, because you skin in the back of your head, you'll know yourself, Kyle, is a lot looser than the top of your head and the sides. So you want to try and stretch it as much as you can. You can't really do anything with pulling it because it's still quite tight, but you want to try and stretch it as much as you can. I'll tell you one thing I do love about this razor though, that I do like over pretty much every razor I've used, and it's the audio feedback. The audio feedback on it is lovely, really crisp, it's really nice. I'm trying to think what someone described it as recently. So far, there's no blood. Apart from that nick on the top of my head here, I've not had anything else so far, touch wood. The main thing with this razor, and I say it about every razor, especially on your head when you can't see the back and stuff, It's all about keeping that angle right. If you get the angle wrong for a second with this razor and you take it too steep, it almost works like you're taking a shaving off a piece of paper, or shaving the outside of a melon skin or something. It just, and it holds no prisoners. I find the R41 more efficient, more aggressive, but less dangerous, less scary, and that's the honest truth about it. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that the R41 is the blade is super fixed. It's not flexing all over the place. I'm just going to add a little bit of lather there. It's looking a bit dry, but the lather's lovely. And you might find as well, when you're actually doing your head shaves, that areas where you actually cut yourself become very, very sensitive to the razor over time if you keep cutting the same area. Right. Well, so far, so good. Other than that tiny little one that I got here straight in the start, probably my second pull, there's only a little bit of hair left on my whole head now, so I'm just going to lather the whole lot. And if you see what I mean with the lather now, I've got loads of lather. Good thick creamy lather. And another thing you've probably found yourself, I find with the Simulgate 30 bow, which is a similar knot to what you've got in your Simulg, I think. I'm pretty sure you've got a bow knot. It sort of eats lather. You can fill it with lather, use it once, then you pick it back up again, there's none left. This never eats lather. You pay a little bit more for the Simulg Owners Club, but it's a far superior knot. Far superior to the 830. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scoop all the lather out of the bowl, so the bowl's pretty much empty now. I only actually thought about this scooping out of the bowl recently. Add that onto my head. Empty the brush out, so the brush is done and dusted. Add that onto my head. You can see how much extra lather I've got there, mate, and how thick that is. And then it's just a case of giving it a good rub all over. And then you can sort of concentrate on cleaning everything up then. And you've got so much lather on your head, you can just keep I'm really glad I've done this shave today now. I'm sort of glad I've watched you, Kyle, because it's given me a bit of confidence back with this razor. And I hope watching me use it on setting 6 gives you a bit of confidence to go for it again. The nature of the beast when you're shaving is that you're inevitably going to at some point cut yourself. I've got to be brutally honest with it. It's not easy to get BBS with this razor because it does judder. It does give a lot of blade chatter. When you're doing a lot of it, so I do struggle no doubt about it. But I will get BBS today, guaranteed, I will get it. I'm just going to take my time, make sure I get it right. And touch wood without taking any chunks. And as you can see with this ladder, it's lovely stuff, it's full of my hands. And doing a bowl ladder, in my opinion, is the only way to do a head shave. It's the only way to guarantee that you're going to have a thick enough, creamy enough lather and a consistent lather. I know when I bowl lather and I'm taking stuff out of the bowl, the consistency of the lather itself never changes. It's the same from the first stroke to the last. And this part for me is probably the most rewarding part. I do really enjoy scooping the last little bits of hairs off, getting that complete full BBS. The one thing I will say with the Futur that is quite good, because it does hold a bit of water, this lather is starting to, it's not going dry, but it's going very, very thick, as you can see. It's almost like a paste. So because you can get a bit of water in there, it does help. Well, that can only be described as super BBS. Let's have a bit of a feel. Yeah, it's a tiny, I mean it's BBS, but there's just a little bit I'm feeling sort of just on the sides here. I'm not going to chase the dragon on it. I've had a cracking shave with that there, and other than the tiny little one I got there, I think I'm blood free. I don't think I'll get any nicks, spotting, nothing at all. Right, so I'm going to move on to whiten the head. Just a light wetting. Razor Rock Allen block. And let's get a bit of feedback. Let's see where we did good and where we didn't. So I've got a little bit right there where I nicked myself first off. So far nothing really, a little bit there. It's a little bit on the back. But overall, that feels like a great shave. Right, rinse that off again. And the good thing with the Allen block on your head is the chances of you getting the stuff in your mouth are very, very slim. Right, I've just dried that off, put that to the side now to dry a little bit. And then rinse off the head. So for those of you who didn't watch my face shave, I might just to jump straight to the head shave. I did actually hit the 500 subs mark this morning on YouTube, so I was really, really stoked with that, really over the moon. It's been a very, very enjoyable 8 months. I've met a lot of people, learned a lot of new things, spent a lot of money, and just really enjoyed myself. And that's what it's all about. Thumbs up, thumbs down, good comments, bad comments, I don't think it really matters. I've enjoyed it, that's all that matters. If you guys enjoy it as well and get something from it or learn something from it, or take something away from these videos, then that's just a bonus for me. And I do get quite a lot of good feedback. All my feedback's generally pretty good. There we go, Kyle. I hope that makes you a bit more confident to know that you can do it, it is possible. You look like you've got similar sort of skin to me anyway, and similar sort of, my hair is very thick on my head. On my face it's not quite as thick as yours, but it just gives you an idea that it can be done on setting 6, even though you're on setting 3. You might find setting 6 is actually better than 3. I can't obviously tell you for a head shave. I've used this right down to setting 2 I think so far. I haven't used setting 1 on my face, but I've used it on setting 6 all the way down and haven't really had any issues whatsoever on face shaves. So it's a good razor. It just knocked my confidence a little bit last time, and like you see, I had that one little one there which is gone now, it's healed, but nothing else anywhere else in my head. So it is possible, it can be done, and it is a lovely razor to use, and it is a bit different, but it's, you don't get better shaves than that. In terms of finish, it's really good. I've not got any irritation, and I really enjoyed it. Right, move on to a bit of Italian. Sul filo della Rosario. I'm getting better with my Italian. And this is basically an aftershave balm, very similar to Shave Works Cool Fix and what it actually does. However, this has a really nice sort of aftershavey sort of scent. I couldn't tell you what the scent is, but it's lovely. It's really, really nice. So I'm going to use this, and I think, pretty sure this is a Proraso branded item. Let me have a look here. To actually say on this one, I'm pretty sure that it's Proraso or something like that actually own the company now. You don't need much of it. I put a little bit more on because it's on my head. Oh yeah, it's that nice little sting. It's never a major sting, just a little bit. And that's where I'm going to finish today. I'm not going to put any aftershave on my head today. That's plenty. Finish it off with the last little bit on my face. And there we go, guys. Another beautiful shave. Now the Asco blade, it worked quite well. It worked okay. It's not as nice as the feather blade in that particular razor. However, the feather blade was what I took the chunk out of my head with, and I haven't done that today with the Asco. So I can't really say too much. I'll just need to try a few different blades in it. But I enjoyed the shave. It was very smooth. One little spot and that's it. Everything else went very smoothly. I will say it does judder a bit when you're coming against the grain, and it does have a bit of chatter in the blade because the blade's not fixed like the R41 is. It's not rock solid. It does have a bit of flex in it because of just the way that's designed. In fact, you can probably hear it. See, you can actually get a bit of flex on the blade. On the R41, the blade sits pretty much on the teeth, so there's nowhere for it to go. It can't go down, it can only go up. On this, it can go up and down, so it can actually go like that, On the R41 it can only sort of flick up a little bit, but it's so tight it doesn't move, and that's what gives you that stability and smoothness against the grain on thick coarse hair. And that's why I think the R41 might be the razor for you, Kyle. I think it might be the one that will work for you. In my opinion, you need efficient razors on your head to get thicker hair, so it's certainly one I would be looking at. Had I not paid it forward, my other one, I would probably have paid it forward to you, but I paid it forward to another friend. So it's definitely one I'll be looking at. Try and pick one up second hand on the forums and buy sell trays. They're always cropping up because a lot of people buy them on the pretense that they might work and they don't, so they only work for certain people. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking shit. I've enjoyed my birthday so far. I've enjoyed my cracking face shave, cracking head shave. Blood free, can't really go wrong with that, and I've really enjoyed it. Other than the mighty Red Devils getting beat this morning, it's been a good day and I've enjoyed it. So anyway guys, thanks again for tuning in. New subscribers, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to subscribe and you've enjoyed this video, click down here, subscribe button. Loads of content coming out, loads of new soaps coming, new products, new hardware, new everything, and it's becoming quite exciting and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm sure you guys will come on the journey with me. And look, if you want to shoot me an email, it's anothercutabove@gmail.com. If you've got any questions or if you've got any requests, if you want to see anything, any particular soap brands or soaps in particular, I will do the best to try and get them. I'm not in the same sort of position as Chris at Ladder because I'm not in America. I can't just snap my finger and get a Katie's Bubbles or a Viking soap or whatever. It just doesn't work like that for me. I need to know what I'm getting in advance, put a bit aside for it, and then actually order in bulk so that I can save on the shipping, because this shipping just kills me over here. But there's some beautiful Australian artisans coming out now. We've got Squadron Soaps, Shave of Heaven's on the way back, we've got Occam's shaving cream, we have got Wolfpack, we've got Australian Private Reserve aftershave splashes, which I haven't used yet. I smell, but apparently they're beautiful. And I'm trying to track down a bit of a list now on all the Australian artisans that are on the go. There's one down in Margaret River in Western Australia. The soap's not that great, but the moisturising creams are incredible. The aftershave balms are beautiful. So as much as the soap's crap, the balm's lovely. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. 37 minutes, a bit of a ridiculous shave. I did say to Ken, if you can't hit 40 minutes, mate, you're doing something seriously wrong. You're not enjoying it enough. But 37 minutes is a pretty damn good effort for a head shave. I have done a 44, I think, before, which is just ridiculous. But I'm enjoying it and I get in the zone and I forget about what time's doing. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave you to it. Any questions, comments, pop them down below. Send me an email, whatever works for you. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.